Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the Arsenal building series, where part 2 is going to be about symmetricals. Today I'm going to showcase these 9 bowling balls out on the lanes here at Langlo on their house shot. And I got them lined up here where I would think they'd be the strongest down to the weakest for me and the way I throw the ball. So I have the Zen Soul, which has a hybrid cover. I have the Phase 2, which is a real good one. It has a solid cover. The Phase 5 is going to have a pearl cover. And then we have the regular IQ Tour Solid, of course, solid cover. Then with Wolverine Dark Moss, which has a pearl, the Fate, which has the REX pearl, and then the Night Row, which has the same cover as the Fate, the REX pearl, and then the Hype Solid and the Hustle Wine, which is a pearl as well. So I'm going to get on the lanes. I'm going to showcase how these balls look on the house shot here at Langlo and go through and tell you how they fit in my arsenal. All right, guys, make sure you take that time to like, subscribe, and turn on notification bells for you know when my content hits the internet. All right, guys, I'm going to go through all 9 of these bowling balls. I'm going to throw one shot at a time, which ones I think are the strongest down to the weakest for me. And I'm going to play right around second arrow, and we'll see how this Zen Soul rolls. Pretty good shot right there. And that was pretty good. Nice and smooth. A little early, but then smoother off the dry. All right, now I'm going to switch over to the Phase 2, which should be the same strength of a ball, but just the cover is a little bit weaker since it's a solid and not the hybrid. Okay. All right, here we go with the Phase 2. I know a lot of you get into the numbers about the bowling balls, how strong they are, but I kind of look at the reactions from front to back more than right to left. Let's see how this Phase 2 rolls. Pretty good shot right there. Got it out the dry. And you can see, compared to the Zen Soul, it's almost the same spot down the lane, but it's a little harder off the dry, a little more continuous than the Zen Soul. All right. Now I'm going to switch over to the Phase 5. Now these two cores between the Phase 2 and Phase 5 are the same, just the covers are different. This is a weaker pearl cover, so I should get a lot more length. But we'll see. Pretty good shot right there. And as you can see, that one's a lot cleaner and it didn't come off the dry like I wanted to. So I'm going to go move over to the IQ Tour Solid. All right, let's see the IQ Tour Solid. Should be want to pick up in the same part of the lane as the other two, but with the solid cover it should be smoother off the dry compared to the Phase 5. Up, stop. I'm going to switch over to the IQ Tour Solid. This should be a lot smoother off the dry than the Phase 5, where that was very clean for that weaker pearl cover, but we'll see. Not a bad shot, got it out to dry a little bit more, and it was like smoother, a little more rounder than the Phase 5 and the Phase 2. All right, I'm going to switch over to the Wolverine Dark Moss. Should go a little longer than the Phase 2 because it's slightly weaker from a numbers standpoint. A good shot right there, and it was longer, cleaner than the Phase 5. All right, now I'm going to move over to the Fate. This has a stronger pearl cover than the Wolverine, but we'll see how it reacts compared to that Wolverine. Should be just as long because it's a pearl cover. Pretty good shot right there. And it was just the same length, but it's a little sharper off the dry because the cover is stronger. Now I'm going to switch over to the Night Road, which should go longer than the Fate. This Night Road is in the High Road family, so the concept of the core is to go a lot longer, but we'll see on this house shot. Same cover as the Fate. Kind of reminds me, this ball reminds me of a weaker dart code. Pretty good shot right there. And it did. A little longer, a little smoother off the dry today on this house shot compared to the Fate, where it was a little sharper. So I'm going to switch over to the Hype Solid and see how that one rolls. That ball's weaker than the ones I've showcased so far. Okay, we'll see how this Hype Solid rolls. Yeah, for me, the way I drilled it makes the ball seem a little confused, but we're going to get to that in just a second. That's a good shot. Threw it out in the dry. It rolled pretty good. As you can see, the Hype Solid is a little bit similar to the IQ Tour Solid, just weaker. Now I'm going to switch over to the last ball today, which is the Hustle Wine. Now the Hustle Wine is going to be the straightest of them all. The Hustles are on the weaker side. I'm still going to throw it in the same spot so you can see the difference. Okay. Since it's weaker, I'm going to stay in the same spot and see how it reacts compared to the other ones, even though it is weaker. Pretty good shot right there. There you go. And then as you can see, longer and sharper. And now we're going to take time. I'm going to go into how these balls are all laid out for you. All right, now we're going to discuss a little bit about layouts. I didn't talk about that on this asymmetrical video because most of my asymmetricals are drilled the same, and all I'm looking for, like we went in the video, was about the shapes. We don't use the asymmetricals for a long period of time as the lanes are transitioning, but these symmetricals we're going to use more often as the lanes transition, whether you're bowling league or a tournament or maybe PBA events. As you can see for the Zen Soul and the regular Zen, they have a 4-inch pin, okay? And then the Phase 2 has a 4.5-inch pin. The Phase 5 has a 5-inch pin. My IQ Tour Sal has a 4-inch pin, and even though these are similar kind of in strength in that area, I use them for different conditions. These two are going to be more for fresh, maybe a shorter pattern. The Phase 2 is versatile bowling ball, so I went with a versatile drilling so I can use it on multiple patterns. The Phase 5 is going to be a conditional ball when the lanes are actually transitioning or they're drying out. And this IQ Tour Solid, I use that on multiple patterns. So it's another layout that I use for versatility. As we go through the next set of balls, for the Wolverine, Dark Moss, the Fate, and the Night Road, all three of these are drilled almost exactly the same. The only difference is my Night Road, the second number on the VLS system is a 5 because I wanted the ball to snap a little bit harder. And then as we go down to the weaker symmetricals with the Hype and the Solid and the Hype Pearl and the Hustle Wine, I drilled the Hype Solid with a 5-inch pin. It's a little bit of experimenting because I figured the solid cover was a little bit stronger. But then on the Hype Pearl and on the Hustle Wine, I have a 4.5-inch pin because I'll use these two on longer patterns as the lanes transition in game like 7 or 8 of a tournament. A question you might have is, why didn't I drill all these symmetrical pieces all the same? Well, because the same thing as like we went over in the asymmetrical video, all these balls make a different shape. For example, if you look at the numbers for an IQ Tour Solid, the differential is a lower one where it's 0.29. So this ball, by characteristics, is going to have more length. For me, with my lower rev rate and my firmer speed, this ball is going to go very long for me, and then it's going to snap hard on the back end. Well, I wanted it to be a little bit earlier, so I drilled it with a 4-inch pin, so that way it starts up earlier on the lane, and then it's smoother off the drive. For example, like the Zen Soul, I was having trouble on a 38-foot pattern, so I drilled it with a 4-inch pin, and we have a stronger symmetrical hybrid cover, which has more solid in it than pearl, and I needed this ball to start up a lot earlier, and that's why I drill it with a 4-inch pin. As I go with these 5-inch pins, I've drilled those that way to have more length. Now for you, if you're worried about layouts, you should find a ball that you like that's versatile for you with the layout that you have on it. Find out what that layout is with your pro shop and stick that on put that on different pieces so you can see how they react, kind of like I did. For example, like on this Phase 2, with the 4.5-inch pin, I drilled the ball on house shots, which have a lot more volume. But because this ball is such a versatile ball in the line, I've used it on multiple patterns at multiple times. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for part 2 of the Arsenal Building series, which covers symmetricals. Make sure you take time to watch this video, part 1 on asymmetricals, and stay tuned for part 3, where I show you how I build an arsenal for league, tournament, and the PBA 50 Tour.